Great to be here. I'm Johan, co-founder of Memescom and Marble Cards. Brief background about me. I've been in startups in school, basically. Built a number of companies in online publishing and advertising. I got really interested in crypto back in 2016. And since then, I've had a hard time focusing on anything else. This presentation is supposed to be about memes, and when I sat down and started looking at what to talk about, I landed in talk about my story, starting in NFTs from 2017 up until now, building things around memes. Okay, let's do this. We should start with the original meaning of the word, coined by a biologist named Richard Dawkins back in the 70s. And it means essentially any idea that spreads with imitation. And the imitation part is very important. But as a concept, I would argue that memes have been around since the start of human communication, basically. It's in human nature, when we find something we like, that we want to imitate it, that we want to spread it. And if you think about it, a meme is really anything, but people often relate it to internet memes like Doge and Pepe and so on. And I think the reason for that is when the internet came along, it boosted distribution and the ability to remix things by such a huge amount that these memes that came out, they were so explosive, and that's why people relate to them. But really, a music style or an art style or fashion, those are also memes. When somebody does something and then people imitate and it spreads as a concept. When I started in crypto, I didn't know that much about memes, but Dogecoin was something that really appealed to me in the beginning. I felt it was the first time that you had an asset that was valuable just because of the story, just because of the meme. And to me, that was an incredible design space that you can create assets that are valuable because people relate to the story, they understand the story. And so I was really, really intrigued by that. And as I started to dig deeper, this is in 2018, I found something called curation markets by Simon de la Riviere. He's an excellent Ethereum developer and storyteller in the space. And he was talking about using tokens and bonding curves. Now, this was before Uniswap existed. Using bonding curves and tokens to measure value of memes, to allow people to speculate on them, but also to work together on them with a goal to try to make them more valuable. And yeah, I love that. I think the essence of it was the meme market, this fabled concept where people would be able to speculate on the value of trends and memes. You would have these meme traders. It was very futuristic, and I was hooked. I thought it was amazing. So I started thinking, okay, I come from a publishing background. What can I do with my knowledge? How can I apply what I know to this concept? And I started thinking, what if you could use tokens to value the content on websites, on web pages? So if you have an article, or maybe a song or a YouTube video, what if there was a token representing that thing that people could trade, and then the more valuable, the ones people liked would be more valuable, and so on? And the idea of Marble Cards was born. In summer 2018, we launched our first testnet version on Ropsten, with the simple concept of you could take any URL on the web, you could paste it on the site, and out came this NFT tied to it. And once you had the NFT, nobody else could marble that link again. And the reception was great. People were really intrigued by it. We got a lot of users playing with it. We got to talk about our vision. This is from 2018 as well, where we talked about how memes and using tokens, it could drive a whole new market, basically, with people speculating on the popularity of things on the internet. And we were super excited. And then in January 2019, we launched on mainnet with Know Your Meme as the first site. For those who don't know, it's an amazing, basically Wikipedia for memes. We could learn anything about any meme. And the cool thing in our community was greatly appreciated. And it almost became like skin in the game content curation. People had to learn about these different memes to sort of try to understand what is it that they should marble, what will be valuable in the future, and so on. And that was really cool to see. And then fast forward to today, three and a half years later, over 250,000 marble cards have been created by people, each and every one of them an idea by a user thinking, I want to capture this moment on the internet and turn it into a marble card. And that's been really amazing. It's far blown our expectations of what it could become when we started. And there's been a lot of learning, things we've done well and things we maybe should have done better. I've chosen to focus on 3 of them. The first one is authenticity. Back in 2018, the popular NFTs all had utility. So you had CryptoKitties with breeding, Axie with battling, and so on. My favorite was CryptoVoxels. They launched a functioning virtual world in late 2018, where you could actually walk around in the world and build on it using simple Minecraft style building, essentially. And then they launched something in 2019, early 2019, I think, the ability to add your NFTs to the build, and they would have this frame. And this was really cool, and it opened up the question, what should I put on my walls in my virtual gallery or my virtual building? And that's where I started to get interested in crypto art. I hadn't been interested in art before. I'm a virtual person, so physical art, it wasn't something that appealed to me, so I hadn't taken the time to understand art. But with this, I sort of started thinking, okay, so art is valuable because you have the time and the skill of the artist to make something appealing that looks appealing, and also like the premonition or the foresight of the artist to make the work represent a certain moment in time, an epoch or a trend or something, and those things together make something valuable or not. And if you think about it, that is also how memes work. Memes represent different trends or moments in time, and the ones that represent them the best, they're also the most powerful memes. And when we looked at then with marble cards, one thing we maybe did miss there in the beginning was that we should have involved the creators more. They should maybe have had a say in what was marbled and so on. But that we fixed, that we worked on recently. We were on something called verified creators, where artists and anyone really can become verified and sign cards and get revenue from people wanting autographs. So you pay a small amount of Mem, which is our token, and then you get this autographed card back. And it's been great. We have thousands or hundreds of creators and thousands of autographed cards already. So that's pretty cool. The second thing that's been important to us is we've been really, really focused on iterating fast and yeah, make sure we have a high iteration rate. One thing that's worked really well for us is we use Discord, all of our communities in Discord, and also the team. And when we have an idea of a new feature or something that we want to try, we first simulate the concept manually in Discord. So if we wanted to do a voting system, for example, we posted cards that people voted on, and we were like the system. And then when we saw, okay, now we have something that people resonate with, then we built Discord bots to try to make it scale. And then once we felt we had a concept that worked, then we started building it on the actual site. And this is something that's worked really, really well for us. We've done it, we're still doing it a lot, and something I can highly recommend. One, for example, came out of this voting idea that we started manually with. The arena, where people vote on different things. It's like a meme to earn. If you have good cards, you earn Mem, which is, again, our token for having good cards. And there's been over 10 million votes in the arena since we launched that a year and a half ago or something. Because we knew that the concept works, people, the loop works of the product. It's pretty cool. And the final one is never give up. Again, we started in early 2018. And although we weren't super focused on trying to raise funds and so on, we still talked to investors, and all of them basically were saying the same thing. NFTs are an uninvestable asset class. All of them were saying the same thing. It's not something we can. It's not something that we can invest in at this time. But then in 2020, NFTs started bubbling a bit. Beeple had a first sale in December, I think, 2020. And then in one random Twitter DM to Jamie Berg from Outlier Ventures led to them investing in us and us getting into their accelerator, which was a great experience. And the cool thing there is that they really challenged their teams to think about, okay, so what is it you actually want to achieve? What is it you actually want to do? And if you could start over or start with a blank slate, what would you do then? And that got us thinking. We knew our community, all the way, remix culture and internet memes has always been among the most popular things to marble, and people are creating their own memes and so on. And we thought of that, okay, maybe that is the next step. That is what we should focus on. And And in 21, Meme.com was born. This was around the time when CryptoPunk started to see their first $1 million sales. And fun story, we first launched marble cards on ETH, and then a year and a half later, due to gas fees after DeFi summer, we were one of the first projects to move to Polygon, Matic. And creating marble cards was priced in Matic, so there were hundreds of Matic in the beginning per card, and people were creating thousands of cards. And then over the months, Matic started pumping. It went like 100x in half a year or something. So we all of a sudden had this fairly substantial amount of Matic that we got from basically just being lucky in the market. And so we thought, okay, maybe we should invest this in something that is really long-term thinking for the project. And again, CryptoPunk started to see these sales. So maybe, why not? Why shouldn't we also spend, $1 million or so on something? And we saw Meme.com was available, and so we said, fuck it, let's do it. We buy it. And that was how it was born. And what is it? Well, it's still, we raised $5 million after this as well. That was pretty cool. But what is it? So still, we're doing this iterative approach. So like the goalposts are moving. But the realization we had was that before, with the meme market, we thought that that would be its own platform, and people will come there and trade like tokens representing different memes. But as the NFT space evolved, we kind of realized that the NFT space is actually the meme market. NFTs are financialized memes. And so we started shifting focus from trying to create our own platform to trying to get memetic data from the NFT market. And so you could think of Meme.com in one end. It's like a Pokédex for NFTs, where we use the community to try to tell us what is the underlying, basically memetic genes of different NFTs. So you could have Pepe, Doge, and these memes. But you could also have more art stuff, trash art, X-copy style, and so on. And try to do this in a really grassroots way. So when you start to see, okay, this trend is actually moving and starting to see some sales, be informed and be early in these trends. And again, the community is what makes these possible. We're all meme explorers. We use the platform to say, okay, this is an NFT I like. I vote on other NFTs I like, and then I spend mem in different ways to signal what I believe in more, and so on. And this is, we think that you will be able to see many, many, many cool things that data-wise you won't be able to see on something like Nansen or similar. Obviously, Pepe trends are similar, but recently we've seen things like, I don't know what I would call this, the platform will determine it, but maybe cute doodle style, something like that. We have anime that was popular recently. I think, for example, Wojak NFTs, I've seen started bubbling recently. That's something that our Meme Explorer community has started to pick up. So if you're looking at some alpha, maybe that would be it. But yeah, we're super excited about this. Memes are something that we're very passionate about. We're a team of around 15 people at the moment building this. And I hope you will check it out when it comes out soon-ish. All right, thank you.